Thanks for the support as a channel member, Mumongu Gaming. Apologies for no video yesterday, folks. You know it's very unlike me to miss an upload. Just circumstances, real life. No poorliness or anything. I just had major internet problems, and by the time I got them fixed, I just about managed to get Non-League to Legend uploaded, but just didn't have time to record this video. So much apologies. Won't make a habit of it, but we are back. Let's win some football matches. Hello and welcome to part 43 of Bourne Again. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a very important game in the league away against Dulwich Hamlet, our enemies from last year. And we're also still in the Fat Cup. We're away against Gloucester in the Fat Cup. Since you were last with me, more mixed form. It's been the story of like our last 5 seasons. And I think it kind of is the story of the National League and the National League North and South in general. It is very difficult to get a run of form going, especially when everyone else in the league just totally outspends you on everything and you're still part-time or they're full-time. It makes things hard. As you can see, Boston are just running away with it this year. They're 7 points clear at the top of the league, 12 points clear of us. And they've got a game in hand, at least one game in hand on everybody. So if we are to go up this year, it's going to be through the playoffs. And that's why games such as this one against Dulwich Hamlet are so important, because they're in 3rd, we're in 5th. We're only 3 points behind them. So a win here would put us up above them and up into that 3rd place mix. And we know how important it is in these stupid 17 playoff things that we have to finish in the top 3. Because then you play one fewer game and you have the home advantage throughout. And then there's the Fat Cup, which I don't really care about, but, you know, it'd be nice to win something. It might be our last opportunity to ever win it. We've got Anang in goal, a back 4 of Mark Sheffield, Bedwell, Dorset and Shaw Sainsbury, Bradshaw, Broadbent, Mundell and Harmon in midfield, and then Quinn and Bond up front. Similar story to what I mentioned in the last episode. And the big difficulty we've got 2 good strikers who are in good form and scoring goals. We've got a couple of decent wingers. Harmon is up in a green. Bradshaw has been until very recently when he's dropped off a little bit. But everyone else in the squad just isn't pulling their weight. And I think a lot of it is that they're probably not good enough for the level they're playing at, but they're as good as we can afford to bring in. And you know, without being able to do full-time contracts and pay more and attract other players to our club, because of course that's the other thing, we're battling with a smaller reputation than most of the other teams at this level as well. So the type of players who might go to a Boston or even a Dulwich Hamlet aren't necessarily going to come to Bourne, because we're not as attractive a prospect, we can't pay as well, and they only get to train part-time, so they're probably not going to develop as well as a player and then move on to bigger and better things and all that kind of stuff. And we're 1-0 down. Even our ones that do go on to bigger and better things, like Sati, end up coming back and then not getting in the team. So, yeah, we're not an attractive club to play for, I don't think. And we're in very real danger of not even making it into the playoffs, because as it stands right now, we're level on 50 points with Leyton Orient, Aldershot, Telford, and then Cobblers and Dagenham are behind there. So it's tricky. We've got, 15 games left? We need a good run of form. Mundell is in here. Very far forward for Mundell. He doesn't normally venture that far into the opponent's penalty area. And it nearly worked out for him. We've won a corner here, so it would, I assume, be Mundell across the take. In fact, it's Harmon taking it with an in-swinger, looking for Bond, he was in a decent position, but it couldn't quite get to him. And then Mark Sheffield just ends the highlight with a foul, which is, it's the Bourne way. End with a foul. That's what we like to do. They've got a lot of fans packed into what looks like quite a small ground here at Dulwich Hamlet as well. Remember, this is a team that were taken over 2 years ago, I think, by a tycoon. So similar to York last year, they have money to fling around. Longalo, I think, is a former Bourne player, and he's just won them a penalty. No VAR at this level. I don't think that was a penalty. Some VAR there would have been handy. But to go 2-0 up, and they do, just before half-time, and as it stands, we're now teetering on the brink of falling out of the playoffs in January. It's not the time we want to be drifting out of a promotion hunt, especially when we were pre-season favourites to win the league, which we knew was never realistic. Even Sir Mick Powell has only asked us to get to the playoffs, but That man's patience only stretches so far. If we don't make it into the playoffs, we might have to have a quite difficult conversation. And what an abrupt end to the save that would be, getting sacked by Mick Powell, hero turned villain. That would be heartbreaking. Right. We need to shuffle things around in this second half and try and figure out a way to get back in this game. The problem with Dulwich Hamlet, firstly, is that they're likely to be in the playoffs with us if we get there, and we know now that they have our number. Oh, they just keep beating us. Remember when we went into the playoffs last year and we were talking about how in the league we'd scored 10 goals against them last year? It's like towards the end of last year they just turned into a good team, and now they just know how to beat us. And that's seriously problematic because they're always going to be in our way. We're going to get aggressive. Show me something different in the second half. What have we got that's different? What can we do? We've got to change something. Quinn's not playing very well. We could even go to like a different system, but we've got 2 good strikers and 2 good wingers. That's all we have. So all we can really do is shuffle the midfield a little bit, but we can't switch to a diamond because then we lose the wingers. We can't switch to like a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 or something like that because then we lose one of the strikers. We can't switch to a 3 at the back because we lose the wingers. We're kind of penned ourselves into having to do a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-4. And we're just not very good at the moment. We are a lot of the time. I don't know what I just did there. And we're going positive. We've pushed a little bit more attacking. Watch them absolutely rip our midfield apart now. I'm not going to ask for passion yet. We'll give it 5 minutes before asking for 10 minutes of passion. We'll let Dulwich score a couple more times. And oh, it's hideous. It's awful. They're just tearing through us. Right. Bond, do something fancy. Knocks it back to Harmon. That was actually quite good. The front four linking up quite well there, but then it all falls down as Quinn tries to squeeze it through to Bradshaw on the overlap and can't quite get it to him. And now the ball's just lumped over our midfield and we're back in defensive mode again. Mundell trying to get a tackle in there, can't actually do it. And they're in again and Anang makes the save, which is a positive, I guess. There aren't many positives for us to cling to. One of them, I guess, is that we've taken 65 fans away from home. Remember the days when we just used to take 1 fan? Now we take 65, and I'm very proud that we're growing as a club. Harmon's been fouled there, and if this can be a red card, which it's not, a red card could have made a difference with almost a full half of football left to play. A yellow card, not so much. Quinn is having the worst game of his Bourne career. He's going to come off, and what's going on here? Why is Sheedy playing left back? Is that what I accidentally did? When I said, oh, I don't know what I've just done there, and I kind of clipped the mouse into... How's that happened? Oh, how's that happened? Oh. Oh, my word. Right. Swap them around. My eyebrows will be all over the place now. Ridiculous. How did I not even notice that I'd done it? Go attack him. Now we'll have 10 minutes of passion, please. Now we've got a left back again. Poor old Sheedy. Someone should have yelled, boss, I'm playing out of position. Are you sure you want me to play left back, boss? Get out there. Do your job, you idiot. Don't backchat me. You're Mark Sheffield, aren't you? Oh, Shaw Sainsbury to Harmon. Mundell now. I don't know why he's so wide, but it's actually worked quite well. Harmon to Sheedy. And there is a goal back. A 6th goal of the season for Mark Sheedy. Apparently, when you move him out of the left-back position, he's deadly. And we've got 20, 25 minutes left to try and salvage something from this game. I will absolutely take a draw at this stage. It's a lovely little turn from Harmon there and a very tidy finish from Sheedy. What have we got on the bench that could continue this comeback? Let's have a little look. We've got Ryan Robinson, who's going to come on for Mundell. And we'll just stick him there. It'll be fine. And we're going to ask for some creativity. We're running out of time. We need another goal now if we're gonna pull off this comeback, I think. And it's not looking that likely. I will level with you. But we have got the ball here. It's the 88th minute and we are in attack. Garrett to Bradshaw. If we can get a goal here, we're still alive. Cross comes in. What a cross it is as well. And it's an excellent save from their goalkeeper. But it was a really, really good cross. And it's a shame that it was Harmon on the end of it and not Bond, because Bond scores there all day long. Harmon, though, with another opportunity, and this time it's straight at their goalkeeper. And I think we've probably had our chances now. Looking at the stats, it looks like it's been a fairly even game. Doesn't come close to telling you the whole story. I've done a bad team talk there as well. And, yeah. This is going to be a tough run-in at the end of this season because we just can't get any form together. Let me know down in the comments what I could do tactically. I do feel stuck in the 4-4-2 because of who our better players are. But do we sacrifice... Is it like the old Lampard-Gerrard situation for England? Do we have to drop one of Quinn or Bond to make the team better, even though it seems counterintuitive? Let me know what you think. We're going to go and play in the Fat Cup. Right, we need to use the Fat Cup to recover some form and some confidence. There's no changes to the team because the longer it goes on, the more I'm realising we don't have much beyond our starting 11. Sheedy is absolutely pushing for a spot in the team. But I think I've got myself into that situation sometimes managers get themselves into where we've got a couple of players who might be too good for us to the point where it blinds my judgment a little bit, because Sheedy, on recent form, is probably the striker who deserves to be in the team because Bond and Quinn aren't really scoring. Bond's just scored and that's his 16th goal of the season. See, it's good to have the blinkers on. I wasn't saying it was a bad thing. Perhaps you misunderstood the little intro I was doing to this match. I was explaining why it's great showing faith in players like Bond and Quinn because they'll repay it with goals like that. We covered that? Does it? They'll believe that? Good. Excellent stuff. 1-0 to us, and this is exactly what we need. We need to start rebuilding some form, rebuilding some confidence, get some goals back into Quinn and Bond, because... remember, last year they got about, 70 goals between them? I think they were both above 30 goals last season. Bond got a new club record for goals in a season. Quinn is in here, and Quinn should have scored. He had all the time in the world to pick his spot and ended up kicking it straight at their goalkeeper. It ends up coming out to Broadbent, who plays it all the way back to Bedwell, ball forward to Quinn, and the move just kind of breaks down, which... I mean, it's not ideal, is it? It is not ideal. But the fact is, we're 1-0 up, and that's the important thing. And it's Gloucester with the goal kick, and it's messy in the middle of midfield, but Gloucester come away with the ball. If they score here, I'm going to be very unhappy. There's no fans in the ground. I haven't even checked what league Gloucester are in. I'm assuming National League South, because I don't remember playing them in the league recently. But we might well have done. Quinn brilliantly controls out. He's in again. Very similar to that first opportunity he had, even down to the shot that is straight at their goalkeeper. He needs to do better with those opportunities. He is a very good striker who is struggling for goals at the moment, and Sheedy is rubbing his hands together at the amount of chances that Quinn is getting. And I think Sheedy will be on in this second half for Quinn if things carry on as they are. And it kind of does feed into what I was saying before about how I'm a little bit afraid to drop the likes of Quinn and Bond, but there comes a time when we have to, even if they're theoretically the better players. Gloucester now with the opportunity to equalise just before half-time from the penalty spot. Anang needs to show he's great. He doesn't, because he's not. And it's now 1-1, and I think we probably do need to be checking what league Gloucester are in, because I'm starting to get really rather worried that we might, instead of keeping our form going or getting our form up and running again, we might be about to get knocked out by a team from a lower division. Gloucester are, oh God, they're not even in the National League South. They got relegated from it last year. They're in the Bet Victor Premier Division Central, and we're not beating them yet. This is hideous. Right, aggressive. I'm not happy with your performances out there. We need to go attacking, and we need to get back into this football match. Quinn is going to come off. I'm going to shock him a little bit, take him off, bring Sheedy on, who we know has been playing well. We're going to a more attacking system, and we need to be scoring goals in this second half. Dorset now collects the ball from the corner. Lovely cross from him, looking for Bond. Doesn't quite get to him, but it was nice to see somebody showing a little bit of initiative. Harmon with a cheeky little back heel to Mundle, and it goes all the way back to Dorset again. And Shaw Sainsbury with the cross. Sheedy is hovering. Mundle collects it again. Harmon, I think, was offside, but the move seems to be continuing. Mundle does well to get the ball back, and now Harmon again plays it into Bond, and Bond it's disallowed because he's offside. I thought he'd picked up his second of the game. Even if we could just get one of our strikers back in form, getting Bond back into... Oh, it's so close. Getting Bond back into goal-scoring form would be massive for the rest of our season. Harmon now plays it across to Broadbent. It's gone all the way back to Dorset, but now Harmon, Mundle, Harmon again. Harmon with the cross. There's nobody there because Sheedy's playing very deep. But Bond's got a chance, and... it's again saved by their keeper. We are getting a lot of opportunities and squandering all of them. Bradshaw with the goal, not the goal kick. That's a corner, Kev. Oh my word. Harmon can't get his crossover, and it's gone out for a throw in, which ends the highlight. This is getting a little bit desperate. Dorset heads towards Broadbent, and we look to build again through Mark Sheffel, who... He's happy that when Sheedy came on at half-time this time, he got to stay on the pitch. Lovely deep cross from Mark Sheffel, finds Bond, but not actually in so much as giving him the football because their defender headed it clear. But it's they're just lumping it at our defenders, and we're nodding it back down again. It feels like there's a goal coming. We are playing much better in this second half. Harmon in a crossing position. Bond is there, and it's just over from Bond, but it's another... very, very, very good chance. These stats are upsetting me. Can we just score some goals, please? My word. Right. I don't know why we're seeing this. It's just their goalkeeper with the ball in his penalty area. Seems like a very odd thing to show me. Bedwell wins the header again because every time they lump it forward, we're just heading it clear again. So I'm happy for them to carry on with this tactic. The only problem is, sooner or later, we'll miss a header and they'll probably score. Shaw Sainsbury nods it clear, but only as far as one of their players. And because Anang's in goal, they know they can shoot from long range and they'll probably beat him. And it's 2-1 to Gloucester on 52 minutes. They've had 3 shots in this game and scored 2 goals. We have had more clear-cut chances than they've had shots. And somehow we're behind. Even though we started the game with 2 of the best strikers in the history of the football club up front. Sheffield Wednesday wants £7 million for Quinn as a permanent signing. Bond is on the verge of becoming our all-time record goal scorer in a season and a half. But somehow we can't score goals. Sheedy slots it into Bond and it's disallowed again. That's his second disallowed goal of the game. We can't get any luck. We're having a look at it again. We've got VAR at this level apparently. He's more offside there than he was for the first one. What have we got to do to keep that man onside, to score some goals? Right, Bedwell is going to come off and we're going to bring Sean Dootson on because he's a proper Bourne player. And for my last trick, I'm going to take off Mundle and bring on Ryan Robinson. And just like we did in the last game, we're going to push the wingers forward and we're going to say, please win a football match, boys and girls. That's my team talk. That's all they need to hear. Please win a football match, boys and girls. Demand more. It is not acceptable for us to be behind in this game. I'd sack me after this because it feels like the wheels are coming off. Dorset plays it forward to Bond, who's in again, and he's offside for the 3rd time in the game. What is going on? Let's see how offside he was. That's all this is. How offside is Matthew Bond? That's the game we're playing today. Very offside again because he's on an 8.3. How is he on an 8.3 when he is literally costing us the game by being offside every time he scores a goal? How is that worthy of an 8.3? Well, he had it in the back of the net 4 times. Yeah, most of them didn't count. Bond's in again. He's scored this time. Oh, 5 times that man has hit the back of the net this game now. And look how much he's celebrating. He's not celebrating because we've equalised. He's not celebrating because we're still in the Fat Cup. He's celebrating because finally the referee didn't disallow a goal for him. And it was probably a little bit touch and go whether that's offside as well. This guy here is playing him onside there, I think. But we've got 10 minutes left. demand more again, because we should be winning the game. It's not enough just to draw. We don't want a replay in this stupid competition. What we want is to beat them comfortably the way we were supposed to. Sheedy plays it, looks to play it into Harmon, but can't quite find him. It goes back to Dootson, and Dootson is just playing it all the way back to Anang. I can't believe Anang didn't get out of the way there. The ball came towards him from the edge of the area. Normally he dives the wrong way when that happens. Sheedy's in. Sheedy with an audacious little lob. What a goal from Sheedy. The keeper gets a hand to it, but it's not enough. And Mark Sheedy is emerging as a new hero here at Bourne, with goals aplenty. Anang's actually got an assist as well. It's a big old ball forward, and Sheedy he's taken that very, very well. And it's now 3-2 with 10 minutes left. I'm not going to go to a more defensive system because I want to score a couple more. The idea of this game was to give us confidence. If we keep scoring goals, now we've got ourselves a little bit of a taste for it. That's more likely to happen. Then Sheedy's in again. Sheedy scores again. 4-2 with 10 minutes left. And it all of a sudden feels like things are coming back together for us again. Maybe after 5 years away from using it, it's time to go back to the 4-2-4, because in both of these games we've played today, that's when we've actually looked dangerous going forward. And Sheedy is due a run of games because he's earning his spot today. Quinn's going to have to sit a few matches out to give the Sheedy and Bond partnership chance to mature, because ultimately they're the two players who are here permanently. Quinn's only in on loan. If his form drops, I've got no incentive to get him back into form if I've got another man at the club who we own who can just score all of the goals in his place. Let's have one more, because then we can pretend it was never in doubt, when in actual fact it was always a lot in doubt until these final few minutes. Even if they score here, I'll be a little bit worried that it might still fall apart, because it's just how we've been playing lately. Some desperate defending, but they have scored. And it's now 4-3. There's still 4 minutes of added time to play. I wouldn't put it past us to concede again, but I refuse to defend in these circumstances. They're 2 divisions below us. We should be thumping them, and that's what I'm going to insist that we do. Shaw Sainsbury plays it back to Dorset, who's played it forward to Harmon, who managed to find Bond. Bond with a lovely, lovely little, juicy little pass for both Sheedy and Bradshaw to try and get on the end, and it doesn't get towards either of them, but that's the kind of thing I want to be seeing. That's why we play a wing play system. I want crosses like that flying in all of the time, and our strikers just feeding off them constantly. Oh my word, long shots with 2 minutes to go is not what we want to be seeing. Anang actually managing to make the save that time, and we have just about managed to hold on. It was a lovely game for the neutrals. It was painful for me, but at least we've now got a win. We now go to play the team who are bottom of the league, which hopefully is going to be another win, and we can start to scratch together some form so that we can at least go into the playoffs in something resembling good form. We'll be back tomorrow about halfway between now and the end of the season, probably somewhere around Dagenham, Chorley, that kind of thing. And we just want to win lots of games and be ready to just charge at these playoffs, and also ready to capitalise if Boston decide to have a little bit of a slip-up. But we're 16 points behind them at the moment, so it's not that likely to happen, is it? If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.